Hey guys, what's up? My name is Pat and today I will be discussing We Were Liars by Lockhart. And I want to say something before I actually start discussing the book. This is one of those books where certain spoilers can really ruin your reading experience, so I'm going to suggest to you now that if you haven't read it, you should read this before you actually watch this video. So go now, or, be a rebel. It's your decision. Okay, now we can talk. I read this book because a lot of people that I watch on YouTube gave little reviews for it. And of course all the reviews are misleading because they want you to go into the book not knowing anything. That builds a lot of hype and I think that is a very smart marketing decision. But honestly, I don't think that telling a very brief overview of the plot really gives anything away, so I don't know why everyone is like, oh, it's so mysterious, you gotta go into it not knowing anything. You're not really spoiling anything by saying that it's about a rich family who bickers all the time about all their stuff and that they own an island that they go to every summer. I mean, I went into this book having very high expectations and thinking that it was gonna be some, grand mystery. And I mean, there is plot twists, but I just thought it was okay. Now initially, or at least on the surface, this book seems very boring. Because all the characters in it are kind of, terrible and self-centered people. There's the grandfather who's ruthless and power-hungry. There's his 3 daughters who like to manipulate their children into getting what they want. And then there are the children who want all the things and like to make all the mess. But you can't really blame everyone for being the way that they are. I mean, this is how they were raised. They've lived this lavish lifestyle for generations. And with that said, I think, yes, they are horrible people, but excellent characters. Gat, who is not biologically related to any of the people on the island, visits the island with them every summer too. But when he's not on the island, he lives in an apartment in New York. So Gat knows what life is like beyond ivory statues and mansions and private islands. And he's angry that the people that he spends time with during the summer are not aware or they ignore all these other problems that are happening in the world. He's angry that the family members don't really know most of the names of the people who work for them on the island. He's angry that these people are not grateful for what they have. But he understands that this island and this luxurious life that they live is all they know. Cadence, and not Candace. Everyone who's made videos about this book says it like Candace, and it's not Candace, it's Cadence, just lie! I mean, I'm less mad with the Candace people than I am mad with Lockhart for not naming her Candace in the first place, so there wouldn't be this whole mix-up with her name being Candace, but it's actually Cadence. I mean, who the flip names their child Cadence in the first place? Anyways, Cadence shows many signs of depression. She doesn't go outside very much, she doesn't eat very much, and she gives away all of her possessions. But her depression is exacerbated because she understands that her life is so much easier than that of so many other people in the world. She hears about the severity of all the problems that other people deal with the world, and this makes her feel like her problems aren't as important or worthy of finding solutions. And as a first world and very privileged person, I can tell you that I feel like that all the time. Your problems are worth finding solutions to, by the way. Don't let other people's problems get in the way of solving yours. Now for the big plot twist. I kept thinking from the beginning that the repressed memory that she kept trying to uncover was her, getting abused or raped or, one of those very dramatic things. But then Lockhart kind of breaks the fourth wall and dismisses that idea because Cadence also thinks that her repressed memory might be from abuse or rape or, some other dramatic thing. And then it is revealed that 3 of the 4 liars die in a house fire on the island. I wasn't so emotionally strained with how sad it was that they died. I was more emotionally strained with the absurdity of their death. It could have been prevented so easily if they were not idiots with their whole fire plan. I mean, 1 person per floor, what? And Cadence, why did you think that it was a good idea to light the fire when everyone was still inside? Oh, they'll find their way out, don't worry. I mean, they're tipsy teenagers and all have no experience with house fires at all. Great plan, Cadence. Great plan. The absurdity of their dumb plan and Cadence's stupid mistake is what makes the story all the more tragic. These kids were trying to stop a fight that was tearing their family apart. And it cost them their lives. No one said irony had to be funny. And Cadence knows how ridiculous the whole situation is and how dumb their plan was. But she doesn't get a do-over. She doesn't get to give them life again. So she hallucinates them back into existence so she doesn't have to face her stupid mistake. Although some people argue that they were actually ghosts the whole time, honestly I think it's open for interpretation, so think as you will. What I found sad but actually quite touching about this fire is that it did bring the surviving family members together. They reminded themselves that family should come first, above all things, above heirlooms and inheritance and everything else that can tear a family apart. They forced themselves to remember this because they had to remind Cadence that they still loved her, despite her accidental wrongdoing. This book wasn't so much of a disappointment as it was just really not what I expected it to be. So for all the people still here who haven't read it yet, why are you still here? I suggest you read it. The toolbag side of me, who has very serious literary opinions, gives this book an 8.9 out of 10, because I'm too stubborn to just give you a 9 out of 10. And regular me says, it was pretty good. I mean, read it if you want to. I'll see you guys next time when I discuss The Giver by Lois Lowry. Keep reading, my friends. Keep reading. I suggest you read. Bark, 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 bark. I'll see you guys. No! Goddamn giver. You ain't giving me nothing.